GraphQL Security Best Practices. GraphQL's powerful query language allows clients to request exactly the data they need. To keep that power secure, you need practices designed specifically for GraphQL's architecture. Let's cover 5 critical best practices for GraphQL security. For more details, check out the blog post linked in the description. Number 1. Implement query depth and complexity limits. GraphQL lets clients craft their own queries, so you need to control how deep and complex those queries can get. Set maximum query depth limits, typically 5 to 7 levels deep. This prevents deeply nested queries that could exhaust server resources. Use libraries like GraphQL Depth Limit to enforce these limits in your middleware. Add complexity analysis that estimates resource usage before executing queries. Assign complexity scores to different fields based on their computational cost. Reject queries that exceed your complexity budget. Implement both static analysis during query parsing and runtime monitoring to catch expensive queries early. Your server should validate queries before committing resources to execute them. Number 2. Control batching and operation limits. Set clear limits on how many operations clients can batch in a single request. Configure a maximum number of operations per request, typically 5 to 10. This prevents attackers from hiding hundreds of queries in a single HTTP call. Implement operation-level rate limiting, not just request level. Count individual GraphQL operations rather than HTTP requests, so clients can't bypass rate limits by batching operations. Monitor batched operations for patterns that indicate abuse. Multiple expensive queries batched together should trigger alerts or automatic throttling. Number 3. Manage introspection in production. GraphQL's introspection feature is invaluable during development, but needs careful management in production. Disable introspection entirely in production environments. Use environment checks that enable introspection only in development and staging to prevent unauthorized schema discovery. If you must keep introspection available in production, require authentication and authorization. Log all introspection queries to detect reconnaissance attempts. Disable GraphQL and other interactive query tools in production since they rely on introspection. Provide authenticated, limited access to these tools only for authorized developers. Number 4. Implement field-level authorization. GraphQL requires authorization checks at the field level, not just the endpoint level. Every resolver that returns sensitive data should validate whether the current user has permission to access that field. Define authorization rules declaratively in your schema using custom directives like @auth or @requires_role when possible. Create reusable authorization logic that runs consistently across all resolvers, and consider the query path when authorizing. Users might be able to access certain fields directly, but not when traversing through sensitive relationships. Validate the entire context, not just the field being requested. Number 5. Secure all query paths to sensitive data. Identify sensitive data in your schema and audit all possible query paths that reach it, even indirect routes. Implement authorization at every resolver that touches sensitive data, and validate permissions every time it's accessed, regardless of how the query reached it. Use schema design to minimize exposure and make intentional decisions about what data connects to what. Test your GraphQL API with tools that can discover all possible query combinations. Automated testing helps identify authorization bypasses that manual review might miss. In summary, here are 5 essential practices for GraphQL security. 1. Query depth and complexity limits. 2. Batching controls. 3. Introspection management. 4. Field-level authorization. 5. Securing all query paths to sensitive data. Start securing your GraphQL APIs today. Visit StackHawk.com to learn more.